Okay, we are live, good to go. Welcome to those who have tuned into my very amateurish, spectacular stream and whatnot. I don't do these very often. This is actually my first one that I'm ever deciding to do. We're in Euro Truck Simulator 2 multiplayer. TruckersMP Euro 1 server. The Scania Streamline, 730 horsepower with an Allison transmission. Currently in Olbia. Let's go pick a job, shall we? Freight market. Okay. What do we got? Took a yacht recently. Take a cable reel or train axles? I might take train axles. What do you reckon? Train axles? Olbia to Gothenburg. Sweden. Alright, let's go for it. Currently there are just under 1,600 players online on this server, so there has recently been a Pro Mods update for ATS. Unfortunately, we don't believe that's quite compatible yet. TruckersMP does not yet support that update. Ooh, brakes are a bit sensitive. Yeah, that should be good now. Always like the grumble of the Scania R730. Scania Streamline. That's some grumbly. Now, for those that are unaware, when you're playing on the TMP multiplayer servers, you are bound by certain speed limits. Since I only know them in kilometers per hour, I'll quote them in kilometers per hour. It's about 60 kilometers per hour in the city areas, and 110 kilometers per hour on most of them. Right, so our job picks up from, try again, our job picks up from Exomar. And all the way up there, to Gothenburg. Where the Rectaculus is at? Okay, it's around the back, is it? There it is. Now bear in mind, I am no way, shape or form any kind of professional driver. So you're going to see a lot of mistakes. Second, I need to change something quickly. It's my latency. Right. Let's configure exactly how we're going to do it. So we're going to go up through the port in Sassari there. Across to Barcelona. Through Montpellier, Lyon, probably butchering these right now. Up through Strasbourg, Mannheim, Frankfurt, bypassing Hamburg here, through one of my old favourite routes, Denze, Copenhagen, Malmö, Helsingborg into Gothenburg. That seems fairly straightforward. Helps if we put it in the gear. And right there is my first mistake. Like I was going to mention before. That's okay. Prior to F-Mod, sounds of the Scania are a lot more grumblier. You might remember them in 2015 through 2017. They were really, really grumbly back then. You will see me going through a fair few red lights as well. Just while I'm on the multiplayer segment, in the quieter areas, it's not so strict on having to worry about the lights. Obviously in single player or in busier multiplayer areas, it's highly advisable that you abide by all traffic rules and signals when you're playing the game. Yeah, of course it's a game, but you don't want to be caught doing something stupid on here, because you may get punished. So if you're wondering how I'm running this stream at the moment, it is my first one in this style. I'm actually running through OBS Classic at the moment. As found on my system, I was already used to OBS when I was trialing a few things before. So, all good. Running it through OBS Classic, lower bit rates, hardware encoding. If anyone's running about the computer specs that I'm running, well, you might be disappointed to know that it's a Dell pre-build. In saying that, this particular one has actually served me quite well. It's I have featured it on my channel a few times. Why am I heading there? I don't need to. It's running a Core i7-6700. It's not a K-SKU, so it's running 3.4 to 4.0 gigahertz. Running 32 gig of RAM. I believe it's running at DDR4 2666, because that's what my system natively will support. Windows 7 Professional. Any of these little stars that you might see when other players spawn into my area, well, I'm working that out. That may be because I've got the game on a hard drive, not an SSD. Have you muted the audio on your end, Steve? I guess it's a yes. Have you muted? Okay. You might want to mute that if you want to. That way you can listen to whatever. If anyone's wondering about this little scoreboard here to the left here, that's the TruckersMP, what they call a scoreboard. Basically, it's not actually a scoreboard. It's just basically shows you players that are around you and whatnot. And yes, ping of 290 to 330 millisecond from Sydney to the servers in Europe. I think they're in France, so I'm not sure. That is normal and acceptable ping for the distance. Obviously, if you're playing first-person shooters and strategy games and stuff like that, the lower the ping, the better it is. What a nice little area this section is. Can't drive in that view, or that view, or that. We're in Sassari. Not long for the first ferry. See, we're limited to 60k an hour in the city, as I was mentioning. That little micro stutter there was, I've got another player in the same zone as me and my game was loading the assets. I do frequently get those on this system at the moment. But once I work out whether storage medium has an influence on that or not, then I can fix that, maybe. That I don't have any cabin accessories in this particular truck. That's actually because cabin accessories do add load onto rendering. I could load them up, but in this particular view I actually find it distracts me from my driving, whatever. Some players like to honk as a passing by gesture. Can't exactly see lights or can't exactly wave to people in this thing. Fun fact, I used to follow a couple of the admin streams quite regularly for Euro Truck Simulator. Someone that used to be on the team, unfortunately he has left a while ago, Barkinator. Very, very fair and very active admin in the multiplayer setting. Cat PW used to put up the traffic live streams as well, back when we were only on a couple of different servers. For example, EU2 back in the day. But that's not going to end very well. It kind of misjudged that. I should have taken that a bit wider, shouldn't I? No point going to a jack here because I've only got to go back out again, and we'll follow the map that was given to us. Oh dear, it's raining over here as well. It's interesting, once you come off the ferry here in Barcelona, it literally puts you outside of the ferry as if it's already unloaded. Just quickly going to the... It's going a bit fast. Where am I? Normally, when you come off a ferry, you're still kind of inside here like that, but for some reason, Barcelona brings you out here. While I'm here, I might as well show you the truck. That's right, button 3 does that. That's what I'm rocking at the moment. I've got a lot of other trucks in my thing, but I can quickly show you them now, whilst I'm stationary. I'll as well quickly go through the list. I've got 4 DAF XF105s, 2 of which have the Volvo 750 mod, 3 DAF XFs, 1 of which has the mod, 4 Iveco Highways, 2 have the mod, 3 Iveco Stralis, 1 has the mod, 2 MANs, 4 the older Actros, 2 of which have the mod, 2 new Actros, 3 Renault Premiums and 3 Renault Magnums, 1 Renault T 750 mod, 6 Scania R2009s in varying configurations, 1 Scania R Euro 6, 1 Scania S Euro 6, 5 Scania Streamlines, 4 FH Classics, 4 FH Normals. I recently acquired a Valore Blue Bus with the D-Bus collaboration add-on and a Scout car as well. Which, well, it looks like it gets a lot of use, but I don't really use it that often. Anyway, let's get back to driving, shall we? It's a standard pattern that I've got on the truck, so I like having the Michelin tires. Just a personal thing. I've always liked the Michelins. Okay, let's get going. Let's check something. Yes, I do also have the Pro Mods add-on, if you were wondering as well. At the moment, there are not very many players currently in Pro Mods online at this stage. I'm running Europe 1, Simulation 1, which used to be EU2. EU2, well, Europe 1 now, has about, has about 4,200 player slots currently. It has grown over the years. On this particular server, a lot of people will frequent the Calais-Duisburg roads. I may or may not do that later, I don't know. Like the way that those particular signs are lit up around Barcelona, like that. I believe there's a couple of other areas that have that too, I don't know. Like going for the E-tag type polling plazas sections. There is a trick with those too. Slow yourself down to about 30 kilometers an hour and That's how I do that. It's tab. Yes, I'm new to that. I don't really use that map that often. My previous Euro Truck Sim 2 videos and whatnot, my previous gaming sessions, I used to drive a lot in this view. I just found this view was just easier, especially if you're in daylight areas, the road base is like concrete or white or whatnot. In this view, if the road base is white, barely see those road markings. Those that are viewing, drop a comment in relation to the audio settings as well. I do need to fine tune that. So just tell me, is my game audio up a bit high compared to the microphone, or vice versa or something? I should be able to fix that on the fly once I stop somewhere. France. A lot of people online at the moment are giving the D-Bus World add-on a good trial. I will say the implementation of it is actually quite good. place and doing a couple of things at once. Like I'm doing something very illegal, or something that would be very illegal in the real world, using a phone while driving. Don't ever do that in the real world, folks. I had other vehicles alongside me at that moment, I would have been sideswiping them and causing accidents just then. Delta Gamer 64 has entered the chat. How are we? So if you've just joined, yeah. So Euro Truck Sim 2 is one of these games where I used to waste a lot of my time on overnights. It can be quite relaxing at times, it can be quite fun at times. It depends on where you are, what you're doing, who you're online with, etc. As you can probably see, I'm in my Scania R730 currently. It's got an Allison gearbox in it. Nice and rumbly. Always like driving the Scanias. Don't mind driving the other trucks too, but Scanias for me personally are quite nice. I do play American Truck Sim a fair bit as well, but not as much as Euro Truck Sim. ProMods did do an update just today, as did SCS for ATS 1.45, I believe it is. TruckersMP is currently not compatible with that update, and ProMods 1.21 for American Truck Sim kinda doesn't quite work properly yet. I'm leaving that go for a little bit until some of the bugs are ironed out, and then I can run the upgrade. For those that are wondering how you can keep your game version as the current version supported by TruckersMP, all you really have to do for the most part is enable the current version beta. So for example, the current version here is 1.44. You go into your Steam, you go into game properties and enable the beta. Temporary 1.44 for incompatible mods, and in theory you should be able to play online like I am right now. Those two micro stutters that you just saw then were these two players to my left here. Their assets were loading into my game. I believe the micro stutters on my system are just due to the fact that the game is on a hard drive, not on my SSD. once again, bear in mind this is actually like my first live stream playing Euro Truck Simulator, so it'll be very different to a lot of the other streamers out there, Twitch and whatnot. A lot of their content is probably more interesting than mine, so I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. How many players do we currently have online? 1,788 on ETS2 EU Simulation 1. Which, once again, fun fact, that used to be the very popular EU2 server. A lot of people will have the CB radio up here, either switched on channel 19, which is the common channel. I usually have it on channel 10 or 11, just so it reduces crosstalk and whatnot. I don't know why I went for that horn, I should be using this one. Interesting thing regarding the D-Bus World add-on is when you're in-game, your window controls, which control your truck windows, are actually bound to the bus doors. Currently, there's not really any controls on the bus except for doors, the engine and braking or whatnot. That's all you really need. The implementation on ETS2 here is a lot smoother than that of what OMSI2 currently has. OMSI2 is very hit and miss. It all depends on the base engine that it's running on, what add-ons you've got, your settings, and your hardware as well. You can have identical settings and identical hardware and whatnot, and you have two very different experiences in ETS2. I mean, not in ETS2, in OMSI2. Well, my ping sort of spiked for a minute there, not sure why. I do occasionally get those spikes though. here's a sort of overview of my current route there. Going from Olbia, going up to Olbia, and I'm going up to Gothenburg. Wondering how the TruckersMP add-on determines where certain speed limits apply. I believe it's based on map sections. Not entirely sure how it works. I'm not in the development teams or anything like that. In both Pro Mods and the base game, France has had quite a huge overhaul over the years. A lot of detail in the French area. Both of those players there are in the service center. Wants to follow along with where players are on particular maps, you can do that on the TruckersMP website. The map has now been integrated in the site itself. It's no longer a separate site like it used to be. So you should be able to go on to TruckersMP.com, go over to information, and there should be an option called map traffic or something like that, which you can load up. It'll load up into a separate tab or a separate window depending on your configuration. and you can follow along basically with where people are on the map. You'll be able to see, you can configure and see, you can configure options for visibility on that map as well. For example, you can show a heat map, which gives you an idea of how busy certain areas are. Also gives you clues as to what other routes you can take as well, if for example the route that you normally would take is an unusually busy zone. I don't count Caledosburg Road as an unusually busy zone, because that is usually busy, has been for the last 7 years, or at least the 7 years that or however long I've had Euro Truck Sim for. On the arcade servers as well, you are still bound by a speed limit as far as I'm aware. I think it's up to 150 kilometers an hour. There are a couple of sections in France and up in the northern sectors there between Sweden and Norway, Germany there. I'd fly through at around 180 kilometers an hour. I used to enjoy doing that a lot. Lots of fun. A lot of people on the multiplayer servers will usually have this scoreboard hidden riding around like this. I like having the scoreboard there because I like seeing how many people are around. Do I drop into this next fuel bay or do I continue further? I should drop in. dual bay there rather than try and continue on. Don't want to be caught short. This section here hasn't really had much of an upgrade over time. This is the, what section is this? Section, is northwest of Zurich. lucky I'm over here. Because that didn't cause an accident, I'm not choosing to moderate that one. I could have easily done so. TruckersMP does have a fairly good online moderation team that's web-based. In-game moderation team do get swamped with a lot of moderation requests, etc. I think Bully Steven might be a keyboard driver. May not have a wheel set up yet. I could be wrong. I'm by no means that good of a driver, so... Right now we're just passing Strasbourg, however you'd like to say that. We'll be taking the Mannheim exit. Fast for this zone. Some of those horns are like bloody car horns. Some of them are equivalent to, I want to be a truck. So there's those ones that they don't give the vibe of, I am a truck. It's, I want to be a truck. My partner is head disking at that impersonation. have some entertainment on here somehow. Oh, someone's on the wrong side and it ain't me. Ah, fancy that. They've already reported. Alright. I could continue driving like that, but I did make a quick save because I saw that they were doing that. I'll load the quick save. Yeah. That little error there I haven't seen before about job tracker there. It's a little unusual, but anyway, whatever. Just as an FYI, folks, driving the cars in this game is not as easy as it looks. That's why you see a lot of people roll quite easily with those cars. Even I have troubles with trying to drive them myself. Check. We have 1,909 players currently on ETS2 EU Sim 1. How slick that flex is. hassle. And we'll be heading up through the section that I used to love zipping through. Past Hamburg, and Kiel, and up through to Sweden. It's always good having a convoy with all matching trucks and trailers. Helps with keeping a convoy together. You can identify if someone has, for example, decided to tag along with you for an XY period of length and tell that they're not in your convoy. See, this section's been redone since I last played it. hassle. I've been mostly on pro mods the last couple of years. I haven't really been doing much on the base game with the DLCs. Should I say the non-pro mods game? After this job, I might consider jumping into the bus. I'm not sure yet. If I do that, I will need to set up the line in D-Bus World that I'll be taking. You won't be able to see that window on this stream. Just with the way that I've got OBS set up. Text-to-speech engine in the D-Bus World client using at the moment has some very interesting nuances as well. What I mean by nuances is certain pronunciations and reflections on place names, etc. Montpellier is one of them. If you've ever heard it say Montpellier, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. the Big Snack is live also. According to this tag. South of Hamburg. I will drop into that fuel bay just outside Kiel there. That way I'm not caught short zipping through that section that I like. According to the directions there, it wants me to use this tunnel specifically. I can use either tunnel, they both lead to the same section, as we'll see in a moment. Actually quite useful having the two tunnels there, that way if something happens in one of them, you usually skedaddle across to the other one beforehand if you know ahead of time. hill there. Second exit to Kill is coming up right now. It's this next fuel bay that I'll be dropping into. That way I can go all the way into Sweden, into Gothenburg uninterrupted. Alright, we're all fueled up, let's go. Oops. I accidentally hit my sequential selector button. Bundesgrenze. Said I probably completely butchered that. guess I could have used this fuel bank instead of the other one, but... through via Odense we go. Looks like we've found us a spammer here. Just timed that person out that decided to spam chat there. Let's see what happens after 6 minutes. 5 minutes, however long it works. Odense. That section there where the limit drops is because the bridge overpass there has the city speed limit on it. Unfortunately, the way that the limiting is applied, can't necessarily differentiate the height differences as well between the bridge and this road that I was on. This section here I used to be doing 130, 140 on the old servers, and up over that bridge on the downhill section I would hit a maximum of about 181 kilometers an hour, and that was in the 12-speed manual Scanias and the Volvos. With the Allison I would probably hit 100, I would have hit 150 and 160 top. another one. The auto pass sections on here, or the E-tag sections on here, you can literally pass at full speed like I just did then. Be able to. We're quite new to how this YouTube chat moderation works. There's another one. Timeout. How are you doing? Okay, for this toll plaza, if I remember correctly, I've got to go right here. Yep, there we go. Currently, I've forgotten where I've come from in this particular job. I'm going up to Gothenburg. Quite enjoy the Scania R730s and Scania Streamline 730s. It's grumbly. This one is fitted with Allison. Very unconventional thing to fit it with, I know, but no, I do enjoy it. Got that nice sort of, it's got the go aspect to it. Get up and go. So this is actually one of my first, I mentioned this quite early on in the stream, this is one of my first times of actually live streaming gameplay properly on YouTube here as well. So feel free to drop any comments down regarding audio and what the audio balance is. For example, if my game audio is a bit too loud compared to the mic. We've been playing this game for quite a long time now. probably since 2015, 2016, I think. Used to play with a few mates that were in Victoria, Australia. Used to have a few shenanigans here and there. It was quite fun back then. Getting the game in 3 days, so it's worth getting, absolutely. And followed up with all the DLCs as well. Sure, it gets a bit expensive after a while, but no, with all the DLCs and all the add-ons, it is worth getting. With TruckersMP, so I'm playing the TruckersMP multiplayer add-on at the moment. The TruckersMP multiplayer add-on does get compatibility support updates as well, usually a little bit after the base game is released by SCS software. Oh, here we go, we've got someone driving the wrong way. Scapniz. Oh, sorry buddy, but you're driving the wrong way. As are you, Dennison. Too much damage. I'll deal with that, that's fine. In fact, I can just, you know, do a fix command. TruckersMP did actually implement that into their client, which I think was actually quite good. Meant that you didn't necessarily have to F7 all the time and waste time. It's actually a really good add-on. Glad they did that. It's definitely one of my favourite trucks as well. I've always enjoyed driving these. Currently, my actual speed limiter is off, yes. But with the TruckersMP add-on, the server that you play on dictates a server speed limit. So, the server I'm on at the moment is Europe Simulation 1, which used to be the old EU2 back in the earlier days of TruckersMP. Their limits are 110 kilometers per hour in the outer areas like I'm at now, and 60 kilometers per hour in the city areas. I'm not too sure what that is in miles per hour. I think it's like close to 40 miles an hour and 65. I really don't know. I'm not very good with imperial measurements versus metrics. So for TruckersMP, if you want to get the add-on, it should be TruckersMP.com. It's a free add-on, as far as I'm aware. It's free add-on, and then there's the Pro Mod sections as well, which you can add on later on down the line. TruckersMP does support Pro Mods, and Pro Mods is compatible with the base games as well. It just needs, basically needs the DLCs. So you've got your Going West DLCs, your Baltic Sea DLCs. There's a lot to get over the period of time. But I'd say just pace yourself if you're going to get the game. Don't buy everything at once. Pace yourself, see how you go, and yeah, the Skoda or the Scout car is mod. TruckersMP did include that for their support. the game as well, so you can drive that in the game. One thing to keep in mind is the TruckersMP version of the Skoda and the SCS or Steam Workshop versions of the Skoda are not interoperable. You can't use one on the other. If you load into single player, that Skoda from multiplayer will probably come up as an unidentified vehicle. At least it did when I did it last anyway. I don't know what it does now. But yeah, they are fun to drive, or at least try to drive anyway. I used to have a lot of shenanigans trying to drive that. The physics of it are very different to a lot of other driving games and whatnot. Oh, you know, I've only got 60 kilometers to go on this one. Alright. I think after this particular job, I will drive one of the buses on the D-Bus World add-on. So, yeah. Yes, this truck does have one 700-litre fuel tank on board. It's probably split across the chassis, but it is basically one full tank, 700 litres. Being that this is the, where am I? That view. This is the 8x4 config. At the moment, I don't think there are in the game. The D-Bus World add-on is an electric one only. Oh, we've got another spammy here. Okay, that one. Yeah, like I said, the D-Bus World add-on currently is an electric bus only. There are workshop mods which are not multiplayer compatible, or not compatible with TruckersMP multiplayer anyway. So, yeah. So we're nearing my delivery point for this particular job. Up in Sweden area. I should say Gothenburg. As I was mentioning earlier in the stream, I used to waste a lot of time playing this game overnight. I just found this was one of the, it was a game that didn't require heaps and heaps of concentration so much. You could actually relax and play. It still needs concentration, yes, but it didn't need to be super involved with this sort of game. Actually, I always found it to be somewhat relaxing. Oh, believe me, I'm nowhere near pro either. So, oh, there's another one. Let's get rid of that. Cool. Go. Okay. Yeah, so the levels system, it does take a while to build up. So you're... I don't know if I can continue in there. Will it let me... Yes, it will. Brilliant. Right, where does it want? Wants me to put it in its usual spot. Yeah, like I say, it will take a lot of time to. It will take a bit of time to develop, to bring up all the skills and levels in the game. You can want to cheat it in, but that does require memory cheats and stuff like that, using stuff like Cheat Engine. Takes a bit of getting used to if you wanted to do it that way, but you just want to build it up normally. It'll take a bit of time. It'll take hours and hours of gameplay, but the good thing is you don't have to do it all at once. You can take your time to do it. Now, the reason why it's satisfactory is because of that wrong way guy the second wrong way person, I wasn't necessarily paying attention to him. So, yeah, Roblox, yeah. Roblox is an interesting one, that one. It's got some interesting physics and customizing on it. Okay. What I'll do, I'll put this in the garage. I'll fuel it up and put it in the garage. And I'll jump into a bus. We'll see. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be online for at the moment. I'll probably do a run in the bus and then call it after that run. Since it's close to midnight over here in Sydney, Australia at the moment. Probably see the current time at the bottom of this scoreboard thing here where my arrow is. That's the current time down here in Sydney. Yeah, so over the time, a lot has changed with ETS2. There's a lot of developments, a lot of areas have been refreshed, more support's been added for various things, including D-Bus World's electric bus, which I'm actually about to get into. Just give me a second, I will need to Alt-Tab out. Just while I pick a route for my bus session here. Let's see, what am I going to do? I will do Roscoff to Le Havre. So locations for TruckerMP, well, basically all of them, because TruckersMP has very much wide support for all the locations. Like for example here, I've got to change garage and I've got all the garages available to me now, whereas you would be in the base game right now. You'd have options to start out of any of these garages or locations. So you've got a lot. You've got a lot of options for you there. But yeah, there's been a lot of map expansion as well out to the Middle East and South areas. I'll go to my map view here so you can see. So early on in this game, you would have started out just in this zone here. Eventually they've expanded and redone France, expanded down into Spain. Dijon is one of the nice areas as well, absolutely. It's there in France here. That's one that that's an area that's been upgraded recently, as far as I'm aware too. They've expanded down here in Italy as well. I started that job in Olbia here in Italy. Expanded in Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, as well as across to the Middle East, which I don't have in the base game. No, getting the full bundle, like I said, it's going to take a bit of time to do so, but in the long run, it's probably worth it. Yeah, just sort of start off with a small area, build your way up and whatnot. In the pro mod section, Middle East section down here, you've got Iraq and Egypt and all that as well that you can go into. Base game here at the moment doesn't have that. Okay. Meanwhile, should do what I said I was going to do, shouldn't I? Get into the bus. So this bus that I'm getting into, table view, I can pick it. Valore Blue bus, I have upgraded it. This is actually the D-Bus World add-on bus. Engineering Network, hello, how are we doing? Get into the blue bus, and I think I said I was going to do Roscoff to Le Havre. Bringing me back into France there. This is going to put me in London temporarily. So I should have... No, I can't do that. Roscoff from memory is... there. So I would need to go to Brest. Start that there it is, that's where I need to go. I'll quick travel to Brest, and I'll show you what this this particular bus is like. It is an electric bus. Okay, so I'll show you the interior quickly. Very, very quiet and smooth vehicle to drive. These windows cannot be opened yet. I don't know if they're planning on doing that, but can look out of them like that, so... Just to the interior there. Yeah, I've watched a few of the people on the road like that as well. Back when I was playing a few years ago with a couple mates in Victoria, we used to have a lot of fun as well. One of the guys did do recordings, but they are unlisted at the moment, so I would need to link them to you to see that. I'll probably have to do that after the stream though. I don't have access to the link currently. Right, I said I was going to do Roscoff to Le Havre in this particular bus, so I need to do... That's not that far. I can do that. So I'll start the debug squad client now. You're gonna hear a strange text-to-speech voice coming out of it. So
the next stop is Friskoff.
Stuttering there was just because I was alt-tabbing back into the game. Right. I'll make sure, not that the bus is fitted with any auxiliaries, but I like to tick them on anyway. Thank you. Oops. Close to that fence there. Alright. Now that I've got that the correct way around, I can show you the outside of the bus. I'll take the scoreboard off for now. I've gone for the TMP red livery, which coincidentally has a shameless plug for TruckersMP on it, for those that can afford to support. And a little graphics glitch here because of how close into the garage I currently am. Decent passenger view though. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier in the stream, the window controls. The window controls from your truck are actually the door controls for your bus. If you do get the D-bus add-on, whatever keys are bound to your windows normally will be bound to doors. Like so. Alright, let's go pick up these people, shall we? This particular route is going from Roscoff to Le Havre in France. Yeah, we're getting a lot of EV buses popping into the market now as well, a lot of electrics. From what I'm aware, UK and Australia and a few other places are getting a lot of Yutong E12 electric buses. 12-meter electric buses. I've actually recorded an electric bus and put it up on my channel recently. It should be labelled Interline M/O8199. Usually, usually you don't get the bans for false reports or anything like that. The only time you get banned from the reporting system for false reports is if you do it too many times. They're actually pretty good with that, so. So this debus mod add-on is supported by both SCS software and TruckersMP, hence why I'm able to use it on the TruckersMP multiplayer session. The stock bus that you would normally purchase has a lower rated motor in it. Usually only get up to about 70 to 80 kilometers per hour in that particular model. This upgraded version probably get up to about 100 kilometers an hour depending on the road. One thing I'd like for him to do is to maybe do some upgrades on the text-to-speech engine, the announcements, or some of the texts, or some of the audio out of OMSI 2. I think that would be quite an improvement. So as you can hear, this is a very quiet, very, very quiet bus, especially compared to the Scania I was just driving. Bring that scoreboard back up as well. This particular zone doesn't have very many players on it at the moment. So when you're in single player, yeah, it does allow you to go higher than what the speed limiter would normally set if you have upgraded the systems. Engineering network, yeah, I've been getting a few spam messages like that. This is actually one of my first streams, so I've been trying to keep an eye on that myself. It is a bit difficult since they like to just spam the same thing over and over and over. But yeah, I am trying to keep an eye on that while I drive. Not so easy, is it? So, one thing I will be doing after this stream is I'll be going back through this chat, and I will actually change some of the settings with that. Okay, so we're in Roscoff. Oops. Talk about close, yes, I'm not looking where I'm supposed to be looking. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, with the red lights and stuff, they're not so strict on it. Like, probably should obey the lights, but you don't necessarily have to.
Kriskoff.
So apparently Roscoff is Kriskoff, according to the speech engine. Oh, that's actually a really good thing to do. I would definitely go for that. And happy birthday for 3 days too, Bluey Bear. I think that's a good idea.
Nance.
Nance? Where the crap is Nance? I think it means Nantes. Even I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Right, let's go. I will admit the voice does have quite a lot of interesting nuances like that. Like I was saying, with these red lights here, like I've just passed through a red one there, they're not so strict on it. Like, yes, it's labeled as a simulator. It is a game and whatnot, and yes, I'm on a simulation server. In the busiest sections, yes, abide by the lights, I would say. Not a lot of people do. It's more of a recommendation, you don't actually have to. So with the way that I've got things at the moment, I think it's in gameplay options, I have the option of traffic offences switched off. You can switch that off if you want to, or you can leave that on. Leaving it on means that you will be fined automatically for crossing red lights, speeding, etc. I have it switched off on mine. It's because it gets a little annoying after a while in some cases. So yeah, like I said, I have it switched off. The speed limiter and traffic offences. Player check. We have 1,958 players currently on this server, which is Europe Simulation 1. One of my best recommendations, I would say, is definitely start off in single player and be in single player for a few sessions, like at least 2 real hours, not in-game hours. Build up your profile in single player, and then you can attach it onto multiplayer if you would like to. Alternatively, the SCS do have a local multiplayer option where you can host a server or join a session of up to 8 players. That itself is separate to the TruckersMP version, which I'm using currently. Definitely a good option to start in single player and then venture into multiplayer whenever you're ready to do so. That's the way I would see it. So that's actually how I started off with both Euro Truck Sim and American Truck Sim. I started them off in single player and just built up the profile from there, and then attached it to the multiplayer add-ons as well. Yeah, I've got both, like I was saying, I've got both Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. I don't play American Truck Simulator as much as I do Euro Truck Simulator. But both versions can be quite fun, can be quite relaxing, can be quite interesting, especially with all the add-ons as well. There's another one. Steve, are you able to grab that for me? So TruckersMP does support the American version as well. The TruckersMP client itself, the launcher itself does support both American Truck Sim and Euro Truck Sim in the same client. Currently, as at today, American Truck Sim 1. What was the version number? 1.45 is not supported by TruckersMP yet. That will come in the next 2 weeks. On average, TruckersMP are generally fairly quick on adding support for the base game for their multiplayer. They're actually pretty good on it. So the big thing with TruckersMP is if you want to play on the online servers like I am here, you have to launch the TruckersMP client, then launch the game from that client. That'll allow you to join. That'll allow you to join the TruckersMP servers. Once support and whatnot's been added in, then I'll probably think about doing an American Truck Simulator stream as well. George, I will be going through the whole entire chat and pretty much blocking all of those accounts that have come in that have tried to spam those comments. So I'll be doing that after the stream, unless my other moderator, Steve, is able to do that whilst I'm driving along. I believe there is an option in my stream settings where I can restrict the comments like that, so yeah. Just bearing in mind, guys, this is my first time I'm actually doing this, so I am learning as I'm going along, so I do appreciate bringing it all up to my attention, etc. It's funnily enough, those comments and whatnot, there are a lot of bots online as well. Like if you're watching, for example, Austin Evans or Jace2Sens or Linus or whatnot, all the tech channels, they get those sorts of comments as well. Most of theirs are like Telegram bots though. As far as I'm aware, TruckersMP is the only officially, well, not officially, as far as I'm aware, TruckersMP is the only multiplayer mod that's widely supported. I don't have any bots installed on this particular stream, by the way. I'm very much new to doing this. For a while I didn't think my system would be able to handle streaming and gaming at the same time, so yeah. I'll definitely be looking into it all. In Discord servers and whatnot, there used to be another bot that became quite popular called Olbia bot. That was actually really, really good at filtering out those sorts of comments. Ooh, this is an interesting one to try and get into. I'd have the complete wrong approach here. It's gonna let me do that, so I'll stick with it. Probably should have straightened up, but I'll stick with it.
Nance.
It might be, I'm not sure. Might be the mod. It should be. It's because there's the TruckersMP
The next
mod.
stop is Brent.
There's this TruckersMP mod, like it is, and SCS Software have their own local multiplayer. Yeah, I don't know if there's... Okay. What I'll do, I'm gonna have a look at this now. And okay, cool. I can go through and do it this way. You might start seeing things disappear on the chat, guys. Just a second. I'm able to remove some of these comments here, but it doesn't quite work as well as I'd like it to. I'm going to have to go back through the settings anyway. Alright, let's continue. Just have to borrow the bus bay a little bit there. It's a very tight thing to get in and out of it on the edge there. So my TruckersMP profile name is Predator. that's also my Steam profile name. I kind of stole the name off of an old moderator that used to be with us with TruckersMP for a while. So yeah, as I was mentioning before, the electric bus here is quite smooth actually. Decent driving experience. It appears it's also got regenerative braking enabled as well, so... you found one for us as well, good. Scroll there. Yeah, I wouldn't try and reply to them either, because then they're actually likely to try and, I wouldn't say likely, but they may or may not try and leave comments on your profile as well if you reply to them. Most of the time though, they are just bots. It does become annoying, so it does become annoying to deal with them. A lot of the Twitch streamers have the same issue. A lot of them are able to set up bots as well to combat that a bit better than what can be done on YouTube. Sorry if I hid your comment there, Engineering Network. This looks like just the first part of it there is triggered by my moderation tool that YouTube has. You may notice if you've played OMSI 2, and specifically played some of the electric bus add-ons for OMSI 2, you may notice some similarities between this particular bus and some of the electric buses in OMSI 2. That red text that popped up at the bottom of the screen was just saying that basically saying that the report against one of the players that was going the wrong way and dangerously driving, they weren't able to get to the report, so if I want to report them using the web interface, I can do that. All I have to do is grab the footage from my gameplay replay buffer here and all is good. Whee! That's me not paying enough attention. Also me travelling a bit too quickly through that turn. Which, with my driving style, does unfortunately happen quite a lot, so... If I did that in OMSI 2, I'd be copying a lot of similar comments of sounding like Orphan der Scheiße. Trust me, I don't know German very well, if at all. I only know what OMSI 2 does for German. So there's the red text against one of the other players. That's okay, I'll look at that on the web interface. Okay, what do we got in there? Oh, there's another one. Ooh, what in the crap is this interchange? Or have I come into it? No, I've come into it too quick. That's why. All good. I'm supposed to go around that way. And I take a sign down while I'm at it. That's what I mean. I'm definitely not a pro driver. Okay. Okay, so you found two more, okay. I think that would be interesting actually if we get some diesel buses in. I don't know if they're gonna come or how soon they might be, but there are workshop add-ons for single player, which might have that. Okay. It would be nice to see some more buses and whatnot be supported in the future. I think that would be quite interesting. Like, sure, it's Euro Truck Simulator, but I think it'll be quite interesting. Let's go through to our final stop in Le Havre. I've probably butchered the pronunciation of that entirely. So once I'm finished with this particular job, well, well, it's not really a job, but once I'm finished with this run, I will be wrapping up the stream, as it is approaching 1 AM down here in the city. It's currently 12:38 AM. Like I was saying, I will go back through and ensure that those spammers are banned from commenting. For my future streams. Too fast for that section. Yeah, OMSI can get quite complicated, absolutely. There's a lot of options, a lot of configuring to do to optimize and whatnot. Some maps will work brilliantly and some will run like absolute crap. Same with some of the buses as well. With a lot of buses, it depends on the size of the textures that they're using and how resource heavy certain bus models are as well. There'll be certain combos that you can run and certain combos that just will not work at all. Like for example, I could run a Vanhool A320 in Project Chechen, but I might not be able to run that same bus in, for example, Berlin X10. It's a combination of how heavy on resources maps and or buses are. What I use usually, if I'm on OMSI, is I use a thing called Bus Company Simulator. It's an add-on through Steam and whatnot. It makes configuring what you're going to do a little bit easier. You still have to configure graphics and sound options, all sorts of things. The big thing with OMSI is there is no guarantee that everything will work for you. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a great simulator, and the project team that did develop it, their initial base was actually quite ingenuitive, but there's still a lot of optimizing that needs to be done with certain maps and certain buses. Essentially, OMSI is basically Eurobus Simulator in a way. I think if OMSI were built on the same, if not similar, engine to Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, I think it would be a lot better than what it currently is. You'd actually have more guarantee of stables and of being stable and working. I believe it is available on Steam, yes. Add-ons for OMSI are a bit more expensive and not quite as high quality as I would like. But it does depend on what add-ons you go for as well. A lot of the time it starts out with the Berlin Spandau. I frequently like the Hamburg map with routes 109 and 688. There are a couple of other maps as well that I like to use, but we've got Hamburg Day and Night, Hamburg 109 Innovations line, and there's a few other add-ons that are pretty good for OMSI too. One of the key differences between OMSI 2 and Euro Truck Simulator in the base, like in the actual game base, is OMSI can really only leverage processor speed, not so much processor cores, but processor speed, memory speed, and as it's a 32-bit application, it will only self-address 4 GB of available RAM with the 4 GB patch. Whereas a game like Euro Truck Sim 2 or American Truck Sim will leverage multiple CPU cores, it would leverage your graphics card a lot better. ETS2 and ATS are quite well optimized. As it is now, running this and doing the stream, like running the game and doing the stream, I'm currently only using about 35% of my processor, being an i7-6700 quad core, and about 60 to 70% of load on my graphics card, being a 1070 8GB. Obviously, the higher end your system is, more headroom you have available for running your games, running streams, and things like that. For company, if you mean like a virtual trucking company or a VTC, I'm not actually in one. But for the just for the in-game company itself, I just called it Treadwell's Trucking. It's my surname being Treadwell. Yeah, it's nothing special. Okay, so I've got 85 kilometers to go to my drop point, to which I will repair and park the bus in the Le Havre garage. One thing I like to do with ETS2 and ATS is, as I progress through the game, I like to purchase and upgrade my garages throughout the map, so then I can start wherever on the map. I don't have to be locked into one specific location, for example, London, which is a default location, or Dortmund or Calais or Duisburg or something like that. I can just load in, travel to whichever garage at any given time. Turn those wipers off now. Okay, we are now in Le Havre. Again, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong, so... Looks like my drop-off that I need is on the west section. Okay, should be approaching the next minute or so. There it is. Right turn at the roundabout and a right to turn in, and it's all good. Famous last words. Okay. Just need to go in and around that way.
Le Havre. This bus terminates here. Please
Le-
take your belongings with you.
Le Havre. So apparently this is Le Havre. Le Havre? Le Havre? Okay. Right. So I need to go there. Bus repair after my little bingle earlier. So to everyone who has joined this stream for the 3 hours that it's been so far, I do heavily appreciate it. Except for whoever it is that has these spam bots. That's another one. Port. And go. Like I was saying, I do appreciate everyone tuning in, and always a good chat. As I mentioned before, I'll go through and see what I can do regarding some of these spammers and see if I can permanently block them from being able to chat. Should be an option that I can configure, so that should be fine. And I may consider doing something like this again sometime soon, possibly American Truck Sim once everything is completely supported again. Shouldn't take too long. I probably consider doing another game as well in the future, for example Backroom Beyond. It's like a maze problem solving sort of game. There's also Police Sim Patrol Officers, which is fairly fun, especially in cooperative modes. Do a lot with that actually. It's the bus repaired. I'll put it in the garage now. Thank you all once again for tuning in, and this will wrap the stream up for tonight. I'll definitely go through and have a look at those options. And okay, so that's the same one as before. I'll go through all those anyway. I've gone in here so I can show you that the base fueling per se is exactly the same as if you were driving a diesel vehicle. It's just an electric one. That acts as like a fast charge plug, pretty much. Is that gonna make it? Yes, it is. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in another stream sometime soon.